Hi guys, Spartan765, and I'm just doing a review upon a special request of more than one person asking me to do a review on what to look for when they buy an SKS. These are the people who have gotten screwed over buying an SKS, or people who are newer to SKSs and would like to know what to get. Here today I have two examples, my Yugoslavian M5966, which is a great SKS, and my Chinese Norinco Type 53 SKS. Obviously does not have the stock or forearm on it. I customized this one. This one is heavily customized. But your trigger group, your bolt carrier, that's all the stock stuff. Now today we're going to look at a couple first major things to look for when you purchase an SKS. The first absolute thing you look at is the barrel. You want to look down the barrel, make sure that it's not majorly pitted or it's perfect. Now, if you got minor pitting, if you just got only one or two black spots or dark spots in the barrel, which is indicating medium to dark or deeper pitting, if you got only one or two of those behind the last 3 inches of the barrel, that's behind your last 3 inches or last 2 inches, you should be fine. But if you just got pitting in there but the bore's still shiny through, or you just got one or two black spots, you're fine. Go ahead. That's not going to decrease accuracy at all. Keep in mind, if you don't agree with me, you got a big hole there letting gas up, and that's going to decrease. That would decrease accuracy a lot more than just a little tiny black spot. So I mean, one black spot isn't going to decrease your accuracy as long as it's within. As long as it's not within the last 2 inches of your barrel, you should be fine. And you also want to look for a good crown that has no nicks going into it, the barrel, or generally a good bore right around the last 2 inches, with that meaning it can be mild pitting just as long as the bore is still shiny. Mild pitting meaning there's no dark spots, the bore is still shiny. But it is okay, let me restate, to have a couple, only one or two dark spots, with the rest all being mildly pitted or a good bore. That is not going to affect accuracy. Another thing you want to look for is your serial numbers. If you're buying an SKS to collect, or just you want to cut, you want it original, you want to make sure you have all matching serial numbers. Personally, I don't buy them unless they do. But if you're just looking for one to shoot, if you want to take this apart here, just lift your receiver cover pin off. This has a TS200 on it, but normally there'll be a receiver cover here. Go over to this one. Receiver cover pin here. You just lift up, pull it, and pop off. I'll show how to do that when I get over it. Oh, just to show you now. Okay, now when you're checking your serials, if you're buying a yugo, this is not the serial number. This is a part number here. That's so they could easily swap parts out without being, look it up in the book, how many they got, whatever. Now when you're checking for your, you want to, okay, we'll go back to the bore here. Now if you're looking at the bore, and they won't let you look at the bore because it has cosmoline in it, don't just buy that because you want it. Ask them for a cleaning rod and say, can I please swab the bore out so I can see the condition. If they still refuse, then say I'm not going to buy the rifle, because more than likely if they're refusing, they're going to say that, the bore is not in good condition. Or when they ship from the factory, they usually come with a spec sheet, or they ship from wherever they're importing from, they come with a spec sheet saying the condition. So if they refuse to let you look, don't buy the rifle. Now back over to your receiver and serial numbers. You want to have all your serials matching. Now one way to do this is you got to, all your serials, you just mainly got to have the bolt if you're just looking for one to shoot. If you're looking for one to collect, you want them all matching. Now to check the bolt for its serial number, because the only reason you want the bolt and the receiver to match is because then your headspace will generally be good. If you got a different bolt, you'll have to check your headspace. And that costs money to get done by a gunsmith. So now to check, take this receiver pin right here, just lift it up, and just pull it, just wiggle it out. Kind of hard to do with one hand. Just wiggles it right out like that. Your receiver cover will come off, pull it off, and usually if you get one that was just imported, they'll be doused in cosmoline. That is normal. Then just pull out your spring. Again, if it's doused in cosmoline, the whole assembly might just come out together. And then, now this one here I happen to have dry fired. Give me a moment here. That has a snap cap in there. Let me just go push this down here. Hang on. I had a snap cap in here, so that's why this is like that. Okay, there we go. Now back to this. You pull it off. and then you just, naturally before you open it, you want to cock it. I didn't do that because I had a snap cap in there I forgot from storage. Just push the bolt back, bolt carrier, just like that. Lift your bolt carrier up. If it's soaked in Cosmin, the bolt will probably come out with it. Take your bolt, and on most rifles, the serial number is either located on the, well, not on the bottom, but on the side here, where it is, 694 beep is what this one is. It also says right up here on the extractor, everything like that. You want your that's the one you want to match. Okay. Just want your bolt to match. That's the main one. Let me put this back together here. Oh, and if you want to check for your operating rod, I'll get to that when I get to the piston. Put this back together here. Now, if your bolt doesn't match, that's up to you from there. That's all your personal opinion on whether you want to get headspace checked. But being how rare SKSs are, I can't really say don't do it. Or don't. It's kind of hard to push this one hand. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Okay, now, another thing you want to check is your gas tube. You want to check the gas tube for two main reasons. To make sure it's not pitted out, because if it's pitted out, there's not going to be any pressure. Now let me show you a couple good ways and easy ways to check your gas tube. Obviously, ask the seller for like a screwdriver punch or something, so you can just pry this open right here. Just stick your screwdriver right in here. It's kind of hard to do with one hand again. Sorry, bear with me. Okay, that came up pretty easy. Lift it up only to the second notch or it won't come up anymore. You don't want to lift it out like this, because then your operating rod's going to fly out. Just lift it to the second notch, pull up on your gas tube like this. Now this is where we get into the yugo exclusive. We'll get into that after this. Pretend this can be any gas tube, your normal gas tube, whatever. This is just general gas tube SKS. Okay, when you get it out, drop your piston. Now if it's full of Cosmoline, you're going to have to push the piston out from this side, and it's going to be full of Cosmoline. Inspect your piston. One thing that made me kind of happy is that when the Yugoslavians shipped this over here, they replaced the gas piston with a stainless steel. I really like that. That's pretty nice. That's one thing you wouldn't have to replace. And just shine your cylinder thing up into the light and just look in it. See how that one is? No pitting or minor pitting. No pitting. There's no pitting in this one. But if you got minor pitting or it's still shiny, that's fine, because that's not even 1/1000th of an inch deep, or 100 to 1/1000th of an inch deep pitting. That's, if it's still shiny, you're fine. That's basically my law of thumb. But if you got a black one of these that is black and it's full of pitting, that's obviously, again, you can still get the rifle, but you'll have to replace the gas tube, and they run about 50 bucks. Now you're going to do a pressure check to make sure your gas tube is, or you got enough pressure in here. Now one way I do this is I take my thumb over here, put it over the top of the gas cylinder, the cylinder, just tip it upside down. Now it should not drop freely here. I'm not going to put my thumb over it here, but if it drops like this, like that, that's a sign when you have your thumb over it that it's a bad piston or a bad tube or whatever. One of those two parts is bad. It should drop about like this. Really slow. God, it's kind of hard to get a picture of it with the camera here. It should drop not fast, not super slow, just like that. See how it came out? That means there's holding pressure in here. But again, if it drops like this, really fast like that, just by its effect of gravity, that's not good. You don't want that then. Again, like this. See how it went kind of slower? That's a good sign that it'll hold its pressure. Now another thing you want to check for, if you're looking at a yugo especially, I'm replacing this valve. There's nothing wrong with it. I just want a stainless steel one. Now to check your valve on your Yugoslavian, okay, we're going to have to split up into two videos here because I'm running out of time and it'll only allow me to put on 10 minutes of video. So there will be part 2 to this. If you'd like to see the continue, just look for part 2, or just look for SKS. What am I going to name this video here? Just look for what to look for in an SKS when buying. There will be a part 2 of this video. I will be putting it on at the same time I put this one on. And in that next part, I'm going to go over gas valve and a couple other things. Spartan 765 out, and watch part 2 if you want to hear the rest.